Are video games good or bad for a child with autism? It's so simple, yes or no. Evil or the perfect solution?
Hi.
It feels like I haven't vlogged in like 3 weeks. Rachel tried to take over last time.
I did take over last time.
I guess you did.
I guess I did.
But I'm back. Okay. Okay.
I actually really enjoyed taking the camera. I usually just like don't like when you ask me to do that, I feel like, but I actually like doing it.
Well, people clearly want to see more of you. Isaac's playing Angry Birds and it is making our house even louder than it normally is.
He doesn't normally play games. He just watches YouTube videos, like the same kind of YouTube videos over and over. Just things jumping up and down in letters. Right now we're starting to try to get him into playing just actual games, even if it's just simple like Angry Birds or something like that. Just
Well, that's just a way to introduce him to it, honestly.
Yeah.
He played Angry Birds. He has played Angry Birds in the past.
True. And other little games he's played too, but he kind of fell off of that. And now we want him to like know that you can play games and there's like a kind of like a beginning and end, like of you playing something and you know you might need to do it a few times to do it right.
Something interactive. And it doesn't have to be like this big fancy thing, like just a little bit here and there, getting him used to the idea of playing some games.
I think that it can also be like really social too. Like it really can be like with you playing with him with video games, because with his iPad it's not as social. That's more just by himself.
What I also want to do today, since it's so humid out. Hi, buddy.
Hi, Cormac. Always inserts himself.
Since it's so humid outside today anyways, and I don't really want to go outside with the boys tonight, it's just my personal preference.
Too hot.
I think like once he, has his time with the Angry Birds, which he's loving by the way, so you can't deny him that. Laughing hysterically. Anyways, I thought maybe we'd do some board games today, because that's something, I don't know, we kind of got away from it since the winter, because when it was the winter we were inside all the time, and it's like a huge social learning opportunity for him. And we've talked about this with his teachers, that they do this at school too. Social interactions, turn taking, pronoun usage, all just by playing a few simple board games. So I think maybe today, that's what we'll do. We'll see if we can get him to play a few board games with me. Something a little bit more interactive than Angry Birds, but still, it's cute just seeing him play with the game. Like I like seeing him enjoy himself like that. What are you playing? Probably what would be best is if, in terms of video games, is if we could find something that we could take turns or that we'd have a shared goal. I'm not opposed to video games themselves, but when I'm playing games with Isaac, and I do want to do it with him a lot of the time, instead of having him go off by himself, but I want the game to be social learning opportunity. We don't have a Nintendo, an Xbox, a PlayStation. We don't have a fancy PC for gaming, any of that stuff. We do have the iPad, so I could explore things on that. And I know there are those Leapfrog and VTech systems that I haven't really looked that much into either. Isaac, do you need help with the game? You can ask me for help. Come here, I can help you with it. It's still a little new. Do you want to take turns with me?
No.
Daddy's got to fork over the money for the non-free version, because the only reason he struggles right now is navigating through all the advertisements and pop-ups and junk. Well, I know, but I wanna look into other games first. What happened here? Why is it frozen? So yes, starting to think about some fun video games that we could play together. That could be really special, and I do think it's your personality type to be really into video games.
It doesn't work, and I still have nothing.
You want to play a little bit more? We're going to play 3 more minutes of Angry Birds, okay?
Yes.
Then we can maybe play a board game. And I'll switch over to a board game. That's something I want to get back into. And it's not always the board games or video games that are built specifically for social learning that kind of walk you through a social situation and tell you how to respond. I've tried some of those with Isaac and I just think they bored him, quite frankly. So like he seems to prefer more of the classics like the Candyland and the Chutes and Ladders, and of course anything with that has to do with letters, like it's like a kid's Scrabble game, or the what's that game here? Zingo. Zingo is so like if it has to do with letters, he's gonna be really into it. But there's some other games that we sprinkle in there too that he really gets a kick out of. And we haven't done it for a little while, so I want to hit refresh. I want to get back into that. So hopefully we can do that tonight and hear from you guys on maybe some games that you play. Do you or your kids have video game systems? I'm actually curious. He's a little young anyways to be really diving into the video game world, but just something we've been thinking about lately. You already did your makeup today and you didn't do a get ready with me video?
Not this time.
What are you doing in your get ready with me video?
The next one?
Go.
Right?
We can do that.
Go!
He's in!
He's in the ball pit!
How many times I have tried to, convince myself to get rid of this ball pit and he still loves it.
He still loves it. He uses it with his therapist.
Do it!
And
I know,
he
we
likes
can't get rid of
it.
it. We'll have this ball pit for the rest of our lives.
I mean, if it was just Isaac, he doesn't care that much. So we would.
Hold on, what the? He was just not moving.
He just likes to be in it sometimes.
Well, I can't get rid of it.
Whoa! We love it.
You can't deny it.
Nope.
Cormac doesn't really do the whole iPad
No.
thing. He also doesn't do, board games with us.
No.
He likes to watch. and
Yeah.
so-
He likes to watch Isaac play on his iPad a lot, actually. But
Well, and
he doesn't.
he likes to watch us play board games too. And then he grabs all the pieces and ruins everything.
Yes, that's comic.
That's kind of his thing.
That's his.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Destruction! Total destruction! We've talked about how we're Harry Potter nerds in the past.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of you guys know about Harry Potter, but there's 4 different houses. I've just decided through knowing myself that I am Hufflepuff.
Well, what was that? Was that pop? I heard a pop. Oh yeah, okay, what, you gonna tell them what our houses are?
Yeah.
Because we didn't do this through Pottermore. We didn't do this through the official
No, I just know what we are.
self-proclaimed. Self-proclaimed, you know.
Don't worry about it. So
So-
I am Hufflepuff. Luke is Gryffindor. Isaac is Ravenclaw, and Mr. Cormac over here is Slytherin.
As he throws a ball at your face.
He's so Slytherin, it's not even
Every
funny.
time I tell someone he's in Slytherin, they chuckle for a minute and then they're like, yeah,
Then
you're
they
right.
agree. I'm sure he would be able to talk to snakes.
Oh, no doubt.
Tested
No
that
doubt
out.
about it. No doubt about it.
We're all in different houses. So happens.
Is that
to
just
be that way.
that's how we strike a balance in this home?
Yeah, we're all, one of each.
By the way, all of you concerned people that are gonna comment that the TV is still not mounted to the wall, I know. We've been away, we went to the beach and then I went to the bachelor party. I'm finally back and I'm definitely gonna mount that thing to the wall. I have to go out to the store tomorrow and figure out if I'm handy enough to do it. Who's that banana for?
This is for Isaac. He said he wanted a banana snack, so.
You said banana snack. You want to talk about games? This is one I've been playing with Cormac recently. It's called Shh. Shh.
Hi.
Hi. Junior firefighter. Good thing they gave us
Hi.
an edible hat. Ow.
Let's go.
Where we going? All I gotta say is shh.
Isaac.
Look at you did all the letters.
That's right.
Even if there's
So look, I want to show everybody how smart you are.
2 ounce is.
What is it? Is that what it says?
Yeah, he had to circle all the words here, and he did, and like a word search.
Wow, word searches are fun.
What happened in this picture? What are they doing?
We're going camping.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go camping? I'm going camping with Isaac. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
In a couple weeks. While we're all here, Isaac, do you want to play a game?
No.
Get Candyland.
No. Even though play angry games. Angry Birds games.
No, we're actually done Angry Birds for today.
We're done with Angry Birds for right now, and that's good that you're drinking.
I'll get either Candyland or Chutes and Ladders. We can go straight classics. Which one do you want to play, Candyland or Chutes and Ladders?
What's Hangman?
Hangman? That's fair enough.
He
just said he wants to play Hangman. That's kind of a video game TV app that we have on the Roku, and he did kind of get me with it because he said, I want to play with Dad. So when you want to play with Dad, I ain't gonna say no. All right, get Hangman ready. We'll scrap the idea of playing board games tonight because Isaac loves Hangman too.
Look at all the fishies.
Yeah.
They're really awesome.
Isaac, where's Mommy's fish?
No. It's called
Good job.
You got it. All right.
Here we go. Another food. What could it be?
It's
Often food.
Are you gonna choose the letter?
I see a D.
Good job.
And I see that. I want Daddy will do it.
All right, I'll do it. You want me to choose a letter?
Yes.
Okay. You gonna press the button and I'll choose the letter? I choose A. Can you find me an A? He's being very strategic. He actually does have some Hangman strategy, you know. Oh,
Okay.
I got my A. Okay, good news. You can't see. There it is. He wants to go upstairs now and play games, which is what we do as well. Those are the board games, right? So you want to go upstairs and play a board game with me? No.
I can eat it too.
You can.
These are all candies.
All right.
But I don't like peanuts. I like all the candies.
Is it good?
I found it.
Is it yummy?
Is that popsicle? No, that's a lollipop.
That's right. Hey, high five. Nice.
That's a candy. I can eat it. I can eat all the things.
You gonna help me clean up?
Yes.
I'm sweaty. It's hot. It's kind of my thing. I didn't want to end this video without sitting down and having just a little, very quick chat. Are video games good or bad for a child with autism? I mean,
I don't think it's so simple.
it's so simple. Yes or no? I mean, good or bad? Go. Evil or the perfect solution?
Well, we're not that way about anything.
No.
You have to do this for your child, or that this will totally be bad for your kid either. As far as like video games, we've been thinking about that for a while.
I think like if you make a pros and cons list, there are some pros. Like, you know, like there's some potential benefits. As much as people hate on video games, I think since video games became a thing, people have been bonding over them. Like if I could play a video game with Isaac and we, you know, had a shared goal, or, you know, we could just have fun and laugh together. Like video games are fun.
Especially, I
That's
do
an
think
opportunity.
it's also because you like them. So like you can do it with him. I won't play as much.
Well, I'm not like
you
a
know.
gamer.
No, I know, but you
Not at
would
all.
do it with him and enjoy it. with him.
Vincentville is going to be a gaming channel from now on. I would
But
enjoy
you would
it.
do it with him,
And
and that's what like a big part of it.
It's a big part of it, and Cormac could get into
Yeah.
it. Maybe down the road
other
there
kids
will be
and
other
friends.
kids and friends. Who knows? You know, it's very possible. You know, in 2018, I'm not going to sit here and say like, because on online video games, you can be playing a video game and become friends with someone across the world. Like many of the people that we're friends with now because of YouTube live across the world, and I still consider them friends.
Well, it's interesting, like different things like this. I know it's not the same thing, but like we only watch basically like PBS. Like PBS Kids is like what we watch, and like I love it because it's actually educational. We've noticed that like when Isaac's at like his grandparents' houses, he seems interested in other things like Nickelodeon and stuff like SpongeBob and things like that. So that's like a whole nother thing.
It's totally different.
It's a totally different thing. But my point is, maybe he is getting older and he is going to be more into things like that other kids his age are more into. And like, I think because he has autism, I think he still likes certain things that he's always liked, but he might like be starting to change his interests, and one of those things might be video games, just like it's like SpongeBob.
He was cracking up at SpongeBob the other day.
Yeah, and I even like think about that, like that he would like stuff like that, because I'm just so used to like my kids just watch
same
PBS.
old stuff. Always have to be paying attention.
Always monitoring it.
Monitoring it,
and we do.
Seeing if it's healthy for him. It's not becoming too much of an addiction.
I think that's what I think with video games or anything like with screen time is it's not a bad thing. It's like YouTube right now, we're like doing something for a screen. Like, it's not
Get
bad.
off your screen.
Stop watching us. I don't think it's a bad thing. What it is though is you don't want to like let your kid play video games or be like on a screen for hours and hours. Just let like them do that and retreat from the world and not take them out into the world too and do other things. Like, they have to be okay with stopping.
Everybody is vulnerable to video game addiction to a certain degree, and people certainly get really addicted to video games. But I have seen studies indicating that those with autism or ADHD are, much more vulnerable to that, and that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm not necessarily gonna read that in a study and then completely cut video games out. I think for us, it is like about taking that healthy approach on it and not cutting off video games, forever, because we have read a few things like that about addiction and negative impacts that exist, and it is a reality. But I don't want to eliminate the possibility of us being able to pull some of those pros out of it, the social aspect. I don't know, just learning that it's okay to make mistakes, or creativity and flexibility and solving problems, and some of the fun stuff that comes out of video games that actually is kind of nice.
My biggest thing of why I would want to do it for him, like buy him video games, honestly, is because I know that's what so many other little kids like, and that's something he can bond with them over. And if he likes it too, like, I'm not gonna force him. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. But he's already like into like some things on his iPad and stuff. Makes me think he would like video games. And if he can bond with other kids over something like that, then that is a way he can have like a friendship that, like, because he's not into everything that other kids are into. He's not into sports. He's not into, like, I don't know, different things. That's my biggest thing.
It's like a topic of conversation,
Like, so many, especially little boys, love.
I mean, everybody's out there playing video games. But again, we recognize that it will take some monitoring and figuring out. And I don't think we've actually decided to buy a video game system just yet. I mean, it's just coming up. Figured we'd throw it out there on the vlog, but could be pushed out to the future a little bit more, at least until we get like a actual gaming system. I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
Yeah, I don't know when we would get him a gaming system. I don't know.
When did I get mine for? I got my Sega Genesis. I was way late.
I have 3 brothers, and my 3 brothers had video games like always, and they like loved them, and they like played them with their friends, and they like still love video games. Not like ever too much. I never felt like they played too much.
We're already monitoring the screen time, so
yes, and we'll just continue to.
We're just gonna continue to do that as his interests change. I mean, he's gonna want to play some games. So let's just do it responsibly.
Like, I understand too, though, like people who don't like video games.
There's definitely 2 sides to this. Mm-hmm. Like we started out, like evil or perfect solution, choose. No, it's not that. Probably just even people watching this is going to be some people that disagree. But I don't think opening up a healthy dialogue is necessarily a bad thing.
I just don't know about video games anymore. Like, I still am on like...
You don't like them?
No, I still think of video games as like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. So I don't know like the new stuff and like what that means.
Well, we should get an N64, and then.
Well, that one was even new to me. Like, for me, it's like Super Nintendo because of my brothers. So like that's like what I think of. Like, I still think of that as video games.
You haven't played. We need video games. We need video games way more than I thought we did.
I'd be like curious, like if we got something, like if I would actually even like it. I might like it. I might play it.
Maybe we can get something used or cheap or refurbished or something, and just. So we don't have to pour the money into it, because we don't know how it'll go. But
True.
Anyways, wow, we're rambling at this point.
We're rambling.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this screen time of yours. Now get off YouTube and go play video games. Bye. I'm way ahead of you.
It's your turn.
Yeah, that's right. It's my turn. 2 purples. I am crushing it. You got a lollipop, so you can move all the way up to the lollipop.
Oh, no.
Exciting. You're ahead of me now.
I got 2 purple.
That's it. You go to the castle too?
Goes 2.
No, you don't go backwards. You go to the castle.
I want to go that purple. And the ice cream.